here. Let's talk about all the games happened on Friday night. The first game is the Brooklyn Nets beating the Detroit Pistons after some early season struggles. The Nets, they won a few games, so looking not too bad. Kevin Durant played 36 minutes, took 27 field goals, only went to the free throw line 4 times. So that's the free throw line thing is impacting a lot of people across the board. Obviously KD's still fine, 8th ranked player, but really, Al Horford and PG should be below KD in my opinion. So to me, he's a top 5, top 6 guy per game basis. It's a matter of how many games can he play. 10 rebound, 5 assists, just look good. Bruce Brown played 25 minutes. He's a guy that we could potentially stream for sure with rebound and some defensive stats. Blake Griffin, 13 points. He's been playing fairly well. If you need some points, rebound, and assist, those 3 counting stats, I'll be down to stream him, but that's it. Joe Harris, 1-3, 7 points, and Harden took 10 field goals while KD took 27. He still look a little bit out of shape. I don't know the hamstring issue. He should be healthy, maybe not in shape. Only took 10 field, but he did everything else. 10 rebounds, although they're all defensive rebound. 10 assists, 2 steals and a block, and 9 turnovers, man. That is crazy. Harden is the 23rd ranked player, averaging just 17 points. I bet it's going to be higher, while only shooting 38% from the field and 13.6 field goals a game. So those bound to go up, and free throw attempt only 4.7. So I think that's got to go up as well, and averaging 5 turnovers. So 5 turnovers, sure, that's also a bit high, even for Harden. But I still expect Harden to be a top 5 guy. So, if you can get Paul George for Harden, I would 100% do it. And all the other Nets guys, they're not really worth talking about. For Detroit Pistons, Saddiq Bey, huge game, 4 steals, 2 threes. He is a guy. He's gonna be, his ranking in 9 categories is gonna be around 100. He also the worst plus minus -19. So we want to keep in. Jeremy Grant, what was that? 0 for 9, 5 points, 2 blocks, 4. That's why I'm not too high on Jeremy Grant. He had a, after this game, it means his ranking is gonna be pretty bad. 84th ranked player, he was inside of top 50 or 60. He's still averaging a lot of defensive stats, 1.4 steals and 1.3 blocks. But I don't think he's going to be a top 50 or 60 guy. So, if he goes off for 30 points, which he can do, every once in a while, I would look to trade him. And now that Cade Cunningham is there, Cade Cunningham took 17 shots. So some of those usages are going to, Cade. Now Jeremy Grant. Isaiah Stewart, just the 22 minutes. What are you going to do? He was in some foul trouble, 4 fouls. Just a hold, I think. 9 rebounds, steal, and 3 blocks is not too bad. And, 4 for 5 from the field. Josh Jackson started with Killian Hayes out. 3 steals. If you need some defensive stats, if Killian Hayes continue to miss, you could think about picking up Josh Jackson. Cade Cunningham, 6 turnovers, 6 for 17. The field goal and turnover are going to be bad. We know that. 17 points, it's good. It's good. I think he could average 15, 16, 17 points, depending on how many field goals you want to take, really. He has the greeniest light on this team. 3 threes. I personally would just hold Cade. I would not drop him after, the first 2 horrible games, because the guy has, enough upside, even though at the end of the day, his rankings, he might be outside of 100 due to his bad efficiencies and high turnovers. Kelly Olynyk, that's why we don't want to drop him after just 1 bad game, playing only 60 minutes. 25 minutes, if he's playing 25 minutes a night, he needs to be rostered, everywhere. 10 rebounds, a steal, and a block, just does everything, 2 threes. 14 points, good stuff. 2 for 4 from the free throw line, we can just ignore that. And Corey Joseph, still getting 30 minutes. This game, obviously, Killian Hayes was out. But let's go to the next game, the San Antonio Spurs beating the Magic. They started off hot and just, losing games left and right. 108-89. For the Spurs, Keldon Johnson, fairly good game. I would sell high. He just put up such boring stats. Doug McDermott, not too worried about him. Drew Eubanks played 22 minutes. We could definitely stream this guy with Pirtle out. 2 steals and a block. You can stream him for some defensive stats. That's about it. And Derek White, with Pirtle out, all the guards getting 10 rebounds. Derek White struggled from the field, but 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 threes is not too bad. And Davonte Murray right now is a huge sell high. Huge sell high. He is the 14th ranked player. Any top 20 guy, top 25, I wouldn't think too much about it. And his fantasy game is quite unique. He gets as a guard, he doesn't get a lot of threes. His scoring is very average, but it's about the rebound, huge rebounder, huge assist, huge steals. And this year, I think last year he wasn't really blocking any shots. This season so far, blocking 0.4, so that's also great. But still a sell high. If you could get rid of him plus somebody else for Harden, or for Tatum even, like Davonte for Tatum straight up, I'll be looking to do those type of trades. Thaddeus Young, we have to pick him up. Every single year he does this again. He does this. If he's getting 25 minutes, I think we'll have to rush him. The guy is so versatile. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. If Popovich wants to give him, I know Jacob Pirtle is out. So once Pirtle comes back, maybe Young doesn't get any minutes. He was picking up DNPs. We'll see what happens. For now, we could for sure stream him. Devin Vassell, 25 minutes, also could be a streamer, playing pretty well. 3 steals and a block. Took 12 shots. For the Orlando Magic, Franz Wagner. Yeah, he was a bit sell high after he scored those 28 points. For now, obviously a hold. But if he goes off, I would look to trade him. Wendell Carter Jr., 10 rebounds, a block, 6 for 16 from the field. That was rough. I think he started the game in 1 for 10. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know how he did that. Remain getting Okiki, coming back, hasn't really impacted any of the Mo Bamba Carter, Wendell Carter Jr. minutes. Markelle Fultz gonna be back. Jonathan Isaac gonna be back. We'll see how the Magic minutes gonna shape up. Mo Bamba, great. 30 minutes, 7 rebounds, a steal, and 3 blocks. He went from never playing over 20 minutes in the NBA to be the every night starter, and he's getting pretty good. Only 2 personal fouls as well. So he's gonna have if he can maintain the 30 minutes, he's gonna have a huge season. Top 50, 60. I don't think that's too crazy. Cole Anthony, 35 minutes, great game, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. And again, Markelle Fultz, I would look to trade him high. Now, you just never know, man. If Markelle Fultz comes back and start balling, he's gonna take minutes away from both Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs. So I would look to Cole Anthony in top 50, 60 guy, or do a 2-for-1s to get even better value. Jalen Suggs, for now, just have unlike Kate Cunningham, Jalen Green, I don't think Jalen Suggs' upset on this team is as high as the other 2 guys. If you want to hold, sure. But I personally, the strategy for him would be if he goes off, I would trade him. If he has like one good week, I would look to trade him. The next game, the Wizards, they're playing so well right now. Destroyed the Memphis Grizzlies, 115-87. Because it was a blowout, so everybody's minutes was pretty low. Desmond Bane, 10 points, 1 3, nothing else. Desmond Bane and DeAnthony Melton, they're huge sell highs at the moment. Dylan Brooks' return is right there around the corner. Who knows, maybe next week. So let's. This game obviously doesn't help, but next game if they play well, I really look to unload them. Gerald Jackson Jr. took 14 shots. This is what this guy can do. Just in 25 minutes, he played horribly. -20. But the good thing is 0 personal fouls, still on 2 blocks, 9 rebounds. If he can stay on the court for 30 minutes a night, he will be a top 30, 40 in 9 category leagues due to his blocks. He's gonna he's gonna give you 18 points, 2.5 to 3 threes and 1.6, 1.7 blocks. Steven Adams, you want to keep him mainly for the rebounds. D'Anthony Melton obviously didn't play well, and Ja Morant, I still think he's a huge sell high. Ja Morant. Where's Morant at? 46 ranked player. Averaging, because I think across the board, I don't think he's going to average 25 points. 1.73 is also a bit high for him, to be honest. But let's say he can do 1.7 assists. Yes, he can do that, maybe 8 even. But 1.7 steals, past few years, he's never done that. So I look at him as a top maybe 60, 70 guy, but he does offer the very, very valuable category, the assists and the points. So, but I would still look to sell high. Him plus somebody else for Jason Tatum, I think would make sense. And then the rest of the guys, not really interested. For the Wizards, Kyle Kuzma came back, providing us very good rebounds and points pretty consistently. So for those reasons, I would keep him. Daniel Gafford, here we go. Didn't really get over 25 minutes, but in just 23 minutes, huge line, 7 for 8, 2 blocks, 15 points. So that's good. Montrezl Harrell, best case scenario, they're splitting the minutes. Harrell remains to be a sell high. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Gafford played 30 minutes next game. So come on, let's get Montrezl Harrell out of here, out of your team. Really try to sell him high. Bradley Beal, Beal has been very disappointing this season, in my opinion. 38th ranked player, averaging just 23.5 points. You would think with Russell Westbrook gone, he would average at least 28. 23.5 is not gonna cut it, so I think he remains to be a sell buy low. Spencer Dinwiddie in 22 minutes, easy work, 12 and 6 and a block. And Danny Advia getting some minutes, but not really doing anything with it. And Ron Neto, he is a really, really good steals and assist stream. If you need those 2 categories, you could turn to him and look for those stats. The next game is the Cleveland Cavaliers beating the Toronto Raptors, 102-101. Cleveland Cavaliers are pretty good compared to last year at least. Dean Wade with Lauren Markin out, he played 26 minutes, but he's not a guy for fantasy, so let's just leave him out there. Evan Mobley and Gerald Allen both playing huge minutes, putting up pretty good lines. Evan Mobley, okay, just a 5 rebounds, a block, 18 points, but I think Evan Mobley should be a top 50, 60 guy rest of the season. And I think he can only go up from there, Gerald Allen, 38 minutes, crazy. I think Allen's at the sell high at the moment. He's very up and down. Yeah, he's 51st ranked player. If you can trade him for Anthony Edwards, DeAndre Ayton even, I think Ayton should be better than Gerald Allen. Well, they're very similar. Ayton probably a better free throw shooter. That's about it. Maybe Gerald Allen has more blocks. So I don't know actually. I don't know who's better than Gerald Allen and Ayton. So I trade Allen for like Vucevic right now is ranked 50th. I don't think I need to think too much about that. But yeah, he's overperforming at the moment. And he's still only ranked 50th, mainly because he's only averaging 1 block. That's really low for him. Usually at least he can do 1.5 blocks. I don't know. And he committed 0 fouls. That's pretty impressive. Colin Saxon, maybe a buy low. If your team needs some points and a little bit threes, a buy low, but just don't give up too much for him. Like if you can trade Franz Wagner for Colin Saxon, that's just the type of trade I'll be thinking about. because Colin Saxon's fantasy game is not the best. But I still think he should average over 20 points. So far, I don't think he's been doing. He has been averaging 20 points, but that's about the only category. He would do a little bit of assists and steals. But yeah, Darius Garland, 36 minutes, great game, 21 points, 8 assists, and a steal. His rebounding number is going to be very, very low, and he gets no blocks, so that's his weakness. Everything else, I mean, 8 for 12, the efficiency is crazy, and I think he's just taking, 87th ranked player, averaging 4.1 turnovers in 9 category leagues. So if you ignore his turnovers, he's like easily top 50, and shooting 48% from the field. That's a bit high. But maybe this season he could improve his field goal from last year. For the Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes came back, played 38 minutes right away. We don't know what happens when Pascal Siakam comes back. Who is gonna lose out on minutes? I think it's Scotty Barnes might lose out on some minutes. He took 19 shots, second most on the team. But I still think he should be getting 30 minutes. Maybe it's Gerald Tran Jr. I have no idea what the rotation is going to look like. If you can package Scotty Barnes and somebody else for a top 50 guy, I would do it. Just because the uncertainty, like he may not get affected, like his minutes may not get affected, or it may. So I don't know. OG, great. Just OG is breaking out a little bit. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, stealing a block, and 3 threes. Took 21 shots. The guy doesn't get to the free throw line, so I don't think he's that great of a free throw shooter anyway. So that's no worries. Precious Achiuwa, the guy just gets you 7-8 rebounds and nothing else. So if you need that, you could stream him. Gary Trent Jr. Let's talk about him a little bit. 6 steals and 3 threes and 2 blocks. So I think at this point we're just gonna have to think that the steal numbers are not just lucky. He in a new system, he's really doing it. So we have to look at him like, hey, it's possible he might average 1.5. A must roster. Don't and also a sell high, but a must roster. I think he's leading the league in steals at the moment. Right? It's gotta be him. Let me just verify. It's gotta be him. Yep, it is him and Paul George and Jimmy Butler. So, and Alex Caruso, and yeah, those numbers gonna come down for sure. But regardless, very, very good game, and I don't even care about, like, if the guy give you 6 steals and 2 blocks, I don't care about what he does. In the other categories, Fred VanVleet so far has not been impressive this season. The steal numbers are low because Gary Trent Jr. took all the steals away from him. 18 points is okay. Game. And if Fred VanVleet struggles from the field, I would look to buy low. This game was obviously not too bad. So, and Chris Boucher, guys, let's drop him everywhere. 7 points and with nothing, and only more and more guys coming back. I just don't think he's one of those guys. If somebody gets hurt, you pick him up. If everybody is healthy, you cannot just have him on your team at all times. The next game really impressive by the New York Knicks. Beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Although Bucks, everybody is not everybody, but like Chris Middleton was out, Jrue Holiday was out. That was his first game back. But still, Knicks is a force to be reckoned with in the Eastern Conference. RJ right now a sell high, 20 points. It's good. 7 rebounds is good. 2 threes. No defensive stats, and the efficiency is average. A sell high. Julius Randle. Great game. 32 points. He was falling off a little bit the last 2 games. Again, if you want to ride with him all season, that's fine. I just worry about him running out of gas. We know how Tom Thibodeau does. Giving the man 38, 40, and they played in a couple of overtime games. So I think he might run out of gas. So I might enjoy the ride for like a month and then really look to trade him. But regardless, really good game. Mitchell Robinson, 21. No blocks. What is going on with what's his ranking so far? 137th ranked player, so really, really bad. I would not drop him. because I think 1.2 blocks right now is not really him. And he's gonna start blocking 6-7 shots, and then he'll be right back in it. So, oh my God, Miles Turner is ranked. Oh, that's the steal numbers. Never mind. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson is a hold. Don't drop him, guys. He has a lot of upside. Evan Fournier and Kemba. This is why, if Evan Fournier goes off for 30 points, if Kemba Walker goes off 30 points, I'll look to trade them. Kemba had a pretty good stretch. Evan Fournier in the beginning, the first 2-3 games, that was a time. That was time we should trade them. That well, maybe in the beginning of the season we don't know that, but for now, Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Emmanuel Quigley, those guards. It depends on the day. Like whoever is playing better, Tim Thibodeau is gonna give, especially Kemba Walker. Exactly, if Derrick Rose is playing better than Kemba, he's gonna give all the minutes to Derrick Rose. And I mean, it shows in the plus minus. Kemba was a -10. Derrick Rose was the plus 31. I don't think it's gonna happen every night, but it happens 2 games out. 20% of the games. Then Kemba's value takes a big hit. Same thing with Evan Fournier. He only played 24 minutes as well. But don't drop them, obviously. Derrick Rose, I don't think I want to pick him up after this game. Because next game, Kemba could very well play 30 minutes. And Derrick Rose plays like 18 to 20. Nerlens done well. Interestingly, he came back, played more minutes than Mitchell Robinson. Also, if you want to stream Noel for defensive stats, I don't hate it. For the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. 9 for 11 from the free throw line is really good for Giannis. But collectively, they got destroyed. Grayson Allen had a huge game. You could stream him for points and threes, but that's it. He's hot and cold. Bobby Portis is somebody that could be interesting. He did play 24 minutes. A lot of the guys are out at the moment. Brook Lopez, I think with everybody healthy, I don't see him playing over 25. But he could be a good streamer. Let's go to the next game, the LA Clippers beating the Timberwolves. Wow. Did they play them back to back? Yeah, they just played them yesterday or the other, Wednesday night. Interesting. The Clippers, led by Paul George. I think the steal numbers are back. 3 steals again for Paul George. It's a new Paul George. The past 2 seasons, he wasn't really that aggressive on the defensive end. Now he is. He might commit more personal fouls, but he's getting way more steals. For Paul George, it's possible. He could be a 1.8 steals guy this season. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Obviously struggle from the field, but hey man, 13 for 14 from the free throw line. He remains to be a sell high. One trade target I would do is I would trade him for Harden, straight up. I don't think I would think too much about it. And the other first rounders like Damien Leonard, I was saying, but we'll talk about Damien Leonard later. But I think right now, really, Harden is the only guy that I would trade Paul George for. But obviously, Curry. But Curry is also performing really well. Curry, I still think Karl Anthony Towns should be better than Paul George. And Jokic, obviously. Batum, we could stream him. He's playing pretty well at the moment. Zubac, 30 minutes. Wow. If Zubac can play 30 minutes every single night, then he's a must roster. But sometimes he plays 18 minutes versus certain teams. Eric Bledsoe is not a drop. 3 steals, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I would hold. And if you want more consistent output, then if you could sell Eric Bledsoe high, just gotta wait around when he goes off. Reggie Jackson, 20 points and nothing else. At this point, he's just a points and threes guy, but a must roster because he's getting consistent 30+ minutes. Terrence Mann, we could also think about picking him up. He's been getting 30 minutes a night and putting up nice all around stats. And look at the Timberwolves. Jaden McDaniels is horrible, man. He committed 6 fouls in 13 minutes. He really wanted to get those blocks for his own fantasy owners. But in those 13 minutes, the plus minus was 0. So Torian Prince somehow came in and got 24 minutes. I guess they really need some shooting. I wouldn't go grab him, you know. Karl Anthony Towns playing horrible, minus 28, 6 turnovers, maybe a buy low after this. 8 rebounds and 3 threes. Cat should be easily top 5 fantasy player. Anthony Edwards also struggled from the field. If it wasn't for the 2 steals and 3 blocks, I was going to say a buy low. But the defensive stats are start coming in, and he should be a very comfortably a top 50 guy. If you're punting efficiencies, he's even better. Yeah, he's 53rd ranked player while only shooting 40%. So that number's got to go up. And the rest of the stats, like, I think he can maintain that. 23 points, sure. 2.9 threes, sure. 6.5 rebounds, sure. 3.4 assists, sure. Like, the counting stats all look sustainable. And if the field goal goes up, then, you know, he'll be a top 40 guy. Patrick Beverly, 27. You know, in the short term, we could stream him. And Malik Beasley, too. You know, come off the bench, took 16 threes. Yeah, until D'Lo comes back. Let's go to the next game. The New Orleans Pelicans got destroyed by the Golden State Warriors. Josh Hart, I think right now we have to pick him up. We have to pick him up, see where things go. You know, obviously Zion Williamson is out. Brandon Ingram is out. But let's grab him, see where things go. You know, him getting 30 minutes a night. You know, if the defensive stats are coming in, I think he will be he'll be a valuable asset. Garrett Temple, not so much. Valanciunas, 31 minutes, 15 rebounds, 20 points. Just some crazy numbers. And like I said, at this point, let me just look at the values. Like I was saying, you know, we would try to sell Valanciunas high, but at this point, he might just be a top 30, 35 guy. So who are you really targeting? Like maybe Valanciunas plus somebody for Jason Tatum right now. That would make sense. If you can trade Valanciunas for Jason Tatum straight up, I would still do it. But he's looking real good right now. Looking real good. When Zion comes back, there will be some uncertainties. Like it's possible he lose out some minutes. It's possible he lose out some rebounds. It's possible he lose out some shots. But we don't know. Nikhil Alexander-Walker played 20 minutes, didn't do anything, so that's somewhat disappointing. Devontae Graham, 12 points, 3 assists, and a steal. 3 threes in Devontae Graham fashion. But remember, this game was a blowout, so otherwise the starters would get a few more minutes. This game wasn't close at all. For the Golden State Warriors, Andrew Green 16 points, and that's it. Sure. Draymond Green, an easy night, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. And good efficiency, look at that. 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 3 for 5. So, you know, below average game from Draymond in terms of the other stats. Jordan Poole, he's in a groove right now. He had 31 points. This game he took 15 shots, 9 threes, made 6 of them. He is a sell high at the moment. If you can get any top 80 value or do a 2-for-1s. And Clay's gonna be back. It's another one of those things. He may not get impacted. He may get impacted. We don't know. But because there's a possibility that Clay might take some minutes and then shots away from him, we have to think about selling him high. Steph Curry also struggled, but it doesn't really matter. You know, they won by what? 126 to 85. I mean, they won by 40 points, right? Because it was a blowout, some bench players got some minutes. Like even Kuminga came in and played 7 minutes. He's been picking up DNPs after DNPs. He came in and played 7. But yeah, Warriors not too exciting because you know, you got Draymond, you got Curry, you got Jordan Poole, and everybody else is not really doing anything. The last game of the night, let's check out what Miles Bridges did. You know, he flopped. He struggled. I don't think after one bad game you can buy low. But again, he's always a guy that you want to sell high. I feel very good about him being a top 50 guy. But if we talk about top 30, you know, I have my doubts. So 1-for-1, you get any top 30 guy, I would do it. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Yeah, didn't really do much. Gordon Hayward, meanwhile, had a pretty good game. 25 points, 3 threes, and nothing else. Terry Rozier remains to be a buy low. Cannot find his shot. Last season he was crazy hot. Where is Terry right now? He's not even ranked inside of 200. I would look to buy low. What's some trade that makes sense? Like a Norman Powell for him. Yeah, I skipped one game. I'll go back and talk about the Pacers and the Portland game. Like a Norman Powell for Terry Rozier, I don't think I would think too much about it. Just really, really bad so far. Start off the season. LaMelo Ball, 24 points, 13 assists. Man, 13 assists, 4 threes, really, really good. LaMelo Ball will be a top 10 guy for the next, 10 seasons or so in fantasy. Really, really good. Kelly Oubre Jr. is a drop. Cody Martin came in, played 20 minutes, and had 2 steals and 2 blocks. Yeah, we could definitely stream Cody Martin for some defensive stats. He doesn't hurt you anywhere. So for the Kings, Harrison Barnes, 10 rebounds, 14 points, 4 assists and a steal. Continues to put up pretty decent lines game after game. 2 threes and 6 for 7 from the free throw line is also good. Rochelle Holmes, huge game, 20 rebounds. Look at that. Rochelle Holmes could be a sell high at the moment. Where is he at? Holmesy, 20th ranked player. But hey, because big man rankings always, the 9 category rankings always favor big men because the blocks, they get blocks, and blocks is very, very valuable. And another thing is they have no turnovers. I wouldn't be surprised he finished top 20, top 25 on a per game basis. There's nothing that he's doing right now is not sustainable. 16 points is maybe 1 or 2 points too high. 11 rebounds isn't too high. But he's only blocking 1.1 shots and only 0.4 steals. Realistically, he could be a 0.8 steals guy and 1.5 blocks. 69% from the field, sure. 87% from the free throw is a bit high. But I think overall, per game basis, he's a top 30 guy, easily. Tyrese Halliburton, 14, just efficient, low turnover, 14 points, 5 assists, and a steal. He should also be a top 50 guy. De'Aaron Fox finally had a good efficiency night. 21. I mean, they destroyed the Charlotte. They scored 140 points. Still a buy low for De'Aaron Fox. Davion Mitchell. He's been playing fairly well the past 3 games, I think. So I would see where things go. He had 25 minutes again, 19 points. I don't hate the idea you pick him up, see where things go. At this point, he has had good 3-game stretch. But I still think they got too many guards on this team. It's hard to find minutes. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton is going to lose any minutes because Davion Mitchell is playing well. Same thing with De'Aaron Fox. Buddy Hield also at least getting 25 minutes. So it's hard for me to see Davion Mitchell getting too crazy. Buddy Hield, super good, 8 threes, 26 points. And let's go back and talk about the Pacer game. Chris Durote, just the 26 minutes. Here we go. TJ Warren's gonna be back. Let's really try to trade him. He only took 7 shots here. Sabonis falling off a bit. And again, I think he should be very solid in the next month or 2. I'll look into dump it after a while because I don't think he can sustain playing 35 plus minutes a night and still putting up same level of stats by the end of the season. Miles Turner, just a block, 3 threes, 16 points. Below average game for Miles because we need those 3 blocks. Karis LeVert took 21 shots. If your team is punting field goals and free throws, if you're punting those efficiencies, Karis LeVert is great. Obviously a bad game. And TJ McConnell came in and just put up a top 10 line stats. 19 points. He even scored 19 points. Good efficiency, hit 3 threes. 7 rebounds, 2 steals. a block, and 2 assists. If Malcolm Brogdon is out, TJ McConnell every single night he's a must stream. Justin Holiday also played 30 minutes. Didn't really do much. Had hit for 3, so that's good. For the Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard. This is we gotta make a decision with him. I think after this game, if you want to throw end of second round player like a Donovan Mitchell, like a Zach LaVine, like Shea, like Bam Adebayo. So first of all, in category D's, you gotta think about if Damian Lillard fits your team. If he does, then I would either make that. I think Damian Lillard owner is gonna take like 90% of Damian Lillard owners will take Damian Lillard for Donovan Mitchell right now. Like 90%. So it's like, do you trust Damian Lillard to be this bad? I don't know. I still think I don't know what's going on with him, to be honest. If you can get a top, Miles Bridges for Damian Lillard, I don't think I would think too much about it. Let that owner make the decision. And if I own Damian Lillard, it could go both ways. Maybe a sell high for Damian because he's got good name value right now. If I can get a Donovan Mitchell, I'll probably just do it. So right now, interesting things could happen. I personally, if your team is in a good spot, and should I take that back? In what scenarios, in what situations would you want to take a gamble on Damian Lillard? It's not really a gamble, I don't know. I'm actually leaning toward selling Damian Lillard high if I own Damian Lillard. Obviously not after this game. Like if the next game score 25 points and 10 assists, I'll be looking. Something's wrong with him at this point, I think. CJ McCollum, but if I can trade CJ McCollum for Damian, I still would. CJ McCollum to me is just a top 50 guy. 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Yusuf Nurkic was pretty good. 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals. Robert Covington finally back from dead. 5 threes, 19 points, 5 rebounds, just 1 steal. And Norman Powell is a sell high. 25 points, 2 steals, and a block, 6 for 6. Is he gonna do it again this year like he was on the Raptors, shooting 50% from the field for like 2 months? Where is Norman Powell? Oh my God, Norman Powell's rankings is crazy good. 36 ranked player. Any top 50, 60 guy, I would trade Norman Powell. Yep, and that's it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.